live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the summer edition of our podcast, Monday.
Yep.
Really beautiful day. How's everyone doing? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You doing good? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm doing great as well. My name is Daniel. I'm the president of Running Club. We are in a phase of summer, and let's get this started. And with my co-host, Thomas Kawase.
My name is Thomas Kawase. I'm the vice president. We just had that 1 week of summer break, and then you're doing online, right?
Yeah, I'm doing online. So
Yeah. And then we
right
got
now we're
online
on summer
coming up.
session right now.
I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, the summer session is gonna start. But today I wanted to talk about marathons because, that's personally my favorite event and something that I've been training for like the past 2 years. And then I want to qualify for Boston, so I'm gonna be.
What is the qualifying time for Boston? That's one of my first questions.
Okay, so it's different depending on what age group you're in, but the youngest age group's the fastest. So right now it's 3 flat for males, and I think it's 3:30 for girls. But then you still have to go faster than that because, let's say I get like 2:59, I can then register for Boston, but then there's a chance that, or they only let a certain amount of people in. So you have to rank within your age group, and then they only accept a certain amount of people.
So age groups 18 to 34, a qualified time is about 2 hours and 58 minutes, 21 seconds.
Yeah, but it's actually faster because you have to rank within the people that signed up, and then the youngest group is generally the largest group, so it's the most competitive. So pretty
18
much
to 34. That's pretty tough, man. And
yeah,
what you've been doing for to maintain that? How do you?
So usually I'll do the marathon that I use to try to qualify for Boston is the LA Marathon, and that's in March. So usually I start really training in September. So I give myself 6 months of solid training. But right now, I don't know, we don't know how the marathon's looking. Competitive races are all on a stop right now. It's all virtual races. Even Olympic trials is next year. So right now I'm just trying to stay in shape. I think I'm gonna I'm running very casually, but I want to really start training hard. If I mean I don't even know if the marathon's gonna come back next March. So
there is a lot of different, due to COVID, there's a lot of different things that really prevent certain events. And so
yeah, it makes it difficult to plan my training because I want to peak at the marathon. So I'm not trying to push myself too hard, so I could just stay injury free, improve every day. But at the same time, I want to get to the point where I have a good timeline so I could run a fast marathon. But pretty much right now I'm just I've just been biking and running casually just to stay in shape. So when the marathon will happen, I'll be ready to switch it and then start really training.
For sure. It is running a marathon. 26.2 miles is pretty difficult, I think. And when did you start doing marathons? What's your first marathon? I think you started in LA, right?
Yeah. My first marathon was the LA Marathon. I did it during high school, my senior year, because I was good at cross country, but I didn't really like track. I'm not a very competitive person, but my mom's done marathons, and I just felt like it was something that I could do.
And you think your mom was kind of your inspiration in doing
yeah, she made it seem very doable, because even when I signed up my freshman year, or I mean in high school, I wasn't entirely sure if I was gonna finish like even finish. I don't even know until I did it. So because the longest run I did before my first marathon was only like 13. I mean, I did 15 a long time ago, but during the training for that marathon, I only did about 13, and that was kind of tough. But once you get in the race, it's completely different. you,
absolutely,
you like realize if you're ready or not. Like,
absolutely. And when you qualify for Boston, um, what is your mentality of like what is your goal when you get to Boston?
I mean, honestly, like I haven't really put too much thought in that. Like, I just really want to get there, just cause like that's like the top tier in my mind. Like, I know if once I get there, I just want to like run hard, enjoy it, like just like breathe it in, cause like this is something that I've been training for a long time. Like, I've watched like the YouTube videos on that shit, and it's just like it just hits like a different string in me where I want to like participate in it. I feel like it's like the marathon of marathons. So
Yeah, Boston started is the oldest annual marathon starting in 1897, and so um, yeah, they're fastest marathon in the U.S. pretty much
yeah.
with the finishing time of 3 hours and 44 minutes. Is this the only marathon that like actually that people have to qualify, or is there other marathons that um, competitors have to qualify in order to
I mean, there's other
go?
ones, like most of like the big main ones, you're gonna have to qualify for. So that's like the New York Marathon, maybe like the Tokyo Marathon or Chinatown Wall, like the big ones where it's like probably gonna be like televised or something. You're gonna have to qualify for. But pretty much Boston, if you qualify for Boston, you'll be set on qualifying for all the other marathons. Because I think the marathon for the New York Marathon is slightly slower. But
Mm,
but like pretty much I just wanna I feel like 6 months is like a really good amount of time to train for a marathon. Like I know Joe Marie did like 2 weeks of training and like she
yeah,
still finished, but it's like
yeah, but your legs. How do you maintain your body after a marathon? Because literally, some people can't even walk anymore,
yeah, no,
and
no, yeah,
what's
you have
a
to
good
rest.
strategy for you?
You have to rest like at least like a good week because like the first time I did it was the worst. Like after I finished, I really just I had to go to school in high school and I was just like limping to class. Like I was just in so much pain. Like even like sitting and standing, like just the action of sitting down and standing up was just super painful. But it's only like on my first time it was only like 3 to 4 days, and then every marathon after it started getting like shorter. I guess my legs are more used to running a marathon. But
So over the years, it did get better, right? So like your
yeah,
first
yeah.
marathon, obviously, do you think the training definitely helped a lot? Because um, I feel like what she did was that she just jumped in 2 weeks, right? Like you said,
Oh yeah.
2 weeks into the marathon, and I think that definitely like is a big shock to the body. And
Yeah.
for you, like, what have you noticed? You done this for 3 years already, right?
Yeah, I've done the LA marathon 3 times.
3 times away. And every time you do it, and like coming back, how do you feel after those like the year two and year three? Like, what is your reflection on
I mean, after it, like the marathon kind of like shows me how my it's like a summary of like how my running year went, like the whole year went. Cause like for example, like this year, I realized like my training from the second marathon, the first marathon, they all like compounded. So I didn't like this third marathon, I didn't train as hard as my second marathon, but they were pretty much like the same time. Just because like I've already developed so much training going into the second marathon that training carried over to the third. And I want to do more like incorporate more speed and distance, but going into the fourth, I already know like I have a very good baseline based off the past three. You know what I mean? Like it's like cumulative. And
So
then
the more experience you're getting, is your times getting faster year by year?
my second year was the fastest.
Second year was fastest.
Yeah,
So
and that was like my best run, just because I was able to keep a consistent pace the whole way.
mm,
Yeah, my first one, I was going fast, like I was going like
I had less
6:45,
experience. That's
and
why.
then I hit the wall, and then I was like, oh shit, this is a marathon. Like, and then the third one, with the most recent one, I also kind of hit a wall, but I was able to come back, like, cause the last like 2 to 3 miles of the LA is downhill, and I just like ran through the pain, and then like got close to my PR, and my PR is a 3:04, and then the third time I got a 3:09. So
Those are really close to Boston times. That's really, really
yeah,
good.
they're really.
Um,
It's like it's so close. It just makes me want to get it so much more.
I
Like
think, yeah, you got to have your eye on the prize, and
yeah,
you believe that like because of this COVID situation and a lot of staying at home, do you think your training definitely helps a lot? Do you think it helps a lot in terms of preparation for the when
yeah,
times to
most
come
yeah, definitely. Like
for this year?
I'm just like trying to keep a good like steady baseline of like where my endurance is, where my mentality is at. Because a big part of the marathon is also the mentality going into it. Because I remember like you have to kind of try to go as planned. Like my second time was my best run because I stuck to my plan of just running a 7 minute pace, and then like it slowly dropped off at the end, but like that's just how it goes. But it was like a good overall run,
And
and
how do
then
you keep track of your time? I know they have like also marquees and timers all over the course, but how do you have that mentality? Because a marathon is it's 26
yeah,
miles, right? And
I just try to break it up, like break it up into like the first 8 miles, just chill, do a really easy 8 miles. Once I get there, I'm like, all right, now it's the 16 mile. And then once I get to 16, I start breaking it into 5Ks. So I'm like, all right, I just gotta run this 5K, chill pace. I've done a million 5Ks. And then like when you break it down, it becomes like a lot easier to digest in your mind, and it keeps me chill. Cause like you want to run the marathon at a pace that you feel like you could run forever. But then like towards the end, it's like even though you're running like kind of a chill pace, you're gonna have to push it just to keep maintain. But
and what kind of advice do you have for? I like how you break it down, right? That's really really good advice. But what other advice for people who want to get into this sport or like get into this long running endurance? Like
yeah,
what kind of tips do you have for me? Because I have never run anything for like I never run past 12 miles before. So what kind of advice do you have for to getting in?
well, I'd say maybe just start off with a half marathon and then see how that goes, because it's kind of a big jump from half to full, but like after you do the full, and it if it it's like after I did the full, it made me feel like I could do more. Like I was like, oh wow, this is. I mean, half marathon is long. It's 13 miles. Like that's a long run, but I'm just like, I think I could do more. Like, but the hardest part about a marathon, I'd say, besides running it, is like signing up, because like you could be sitting on that page for a long time, like contemplating, thinking, like because you never know if you're gonna finish till you actually do it. Like even if you're like really like trained and like you've done a bunch of long runs, like you don't know if you could do 26.2 until you do it. So but I think the race environment makes it a lot easier to complete, because you just get this adrenaline from like the other runners and just like the crowd, and it's like it's fucking dope.
I actually really understand. Yeah, I understand that. When you get into that race, you're like, oh, it's like, whew, you got a lot of power and stuff, and yeah, I guess yeah, that's really good
Yeah,
advice.
it's like a different switch from like a practice run. Like
Exactly. I
yeah,
think it's definitely helps a lot. In terms of the mentality, it's like all about a mentality. I think it's all about
yeah,
mentality, and
absolutely.
you want to being hungry and wanting to run more and more and more. And I
Yeah,
think it's all about a rhythm. I realized that after you run like 3 miles, you're like, oh my god, I can still keep going, and that's part of it, you know. So
yeah. It's
keep
just
going.
I feel like the marathon is just believing that you could just go forever, and like nothing can stop you. Like
Absolutely.
all right,
Here's just a quick fact. That's really funny.
all right.
Runners actually used to drink champagne as an energy drink. You know that alcohol is actually like something that causes dehydration, but they used to drink this during like for endurance and especially in hot water apparently. So I don't know but like what kind of beverages do you drink? I typically like to drink vitamin water and some sort of Gatorade.
Yeah, that's what I do too. But in the LA Marathon, they hand out beers.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, I mean, I don't take it because I'm young and like I don't really drink. But like, I think it's at like mile like 18 or 19.
They give out alcohol
Yeah. I think it's like a fan or a crowd that just always does it. Because every time I've done it, they just always have the beers.
Give out like just hand out Bud Light, just like all right, here we go. Oh,
No, for real. Like actually, they just hand out beers. They're just like free beer, free beer.
not even Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings, man. Like what do think about it? Energy drinks. They give out.
No, yeah, they're savages.
Bud
But
Light.
it probably helps out for some people where like they're like they hit the wall and then maybe that beer would just like they could ride it in or something.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I think beer doesn't. For me personally, though, I don't really like beer. But I feel like if I'm that dehydrated and running, I would chug
Yeah.
anything, man. You give anything to
No,
get some water.
no, yeah. Towards the end, I'm like grabbing all the fruits, just grabbing all the water, every Powerade, Gatorade thing. Like I'm at towards the end, I don't even get picky at all. I'm just like, just give me any energy. Like,
All
well,
right.
I wanna start this like new segment. This is a thing that maybe we could do with the guests.
Okay.
Uh, I guess I'm gonna call it the final kick, but it's pretty much 10 speed round questions, and then just have the guest answer as fast as possible. So
Okay. I'll be your guest today.
yeah,
Little
you'll be the
style
first guy.
man.
All right,
Let's
and
go.
then we could time it, but we don't have to. Like the
Right now we're
viewers.
at 17 minutes, so go
Okay,
whenever you want to.
all right. I'm gonna start now.
Okay.
What is your favorite running event?
Cesar Chavez.
How many times a week do you run?
Actually, I take that back. It's Mount Sac, but how many times
Okay.
do I run? Around 5 miles per day, average.
Okay. What shoes do you run in?
Nike Pegasus 34.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
On my rest days, I like to.
On my rest days, I like to watch movies.
Which coach do you want to give a shout out to?
Coach Polite.
The 400 or a mile?
400. No, the mile.
Have you done a marathon?
No, never.
And what's your favorite breakfast?
Pancakes plus American big breakfast. Sorry.
All right. The Denny's Grand Slam.
I hop, man.
All right. I think that was 10 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's really cool. I really like that.
Yeah, we could try to do that with the guests or something. We'll see.
Absolutely, that's really fun. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we could switch it up
with
next
my own
time.
questions too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. But looks like we ran out of time.
Yeah.
Let me end it off with a quote like I usually do. So for a marathon, this is just a quote that I've heard of is when your legs can't run anymore, run with your heart.
For real, dude. No, that's for real. Cause like towards the end, you don't even feel your legs. You're just like go, just finish. Like
You gotta have that mentality. You
you
gotta have
that.
a lot of heart to run it and a lot of passion. I think to run it. It's not even about physical body anymore.
Yeah. Toward those last 2 miles, man, it's just all heart.
But yeah, I think for our viewers at home, I think marathons are a big accomplishment, and I think if you can do one, definitely get out there. But definitely train for one. Don't just jump into it.
Yeah. I
Big
mean,
shout
if you want to jump into it, you might be able to be a jumper and finish. It's pretty savage.
Anyways, looks like the time all we have today. This is probably one of our longest podcasts ever. But it's also ironically also the longest. We're talking about something about running, so
Yeah.
mileage ever too. So, thank you so much, Thomas, for being here, and we're going to continue our summer podcast this entire summer, dropping every Monday,
Yep.
and hope everyone tunes in, and I hope everyone has have a wonderful summer. For fall quarter, we are still going to continue our podcast. As of right now, UC Riverside is going to be considered remote and online, and we're working with the team right now in preparation of what we want to do during the fall. But as of right now, we are still going to continue our podcast. So
Yeah.
remember to follow us on Instagram and keep tuning in. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Peace.
you. Have a wonderful summer. Thank you.